Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Realistic Subspace Hockey League Season 20. We have a game between a perennial favorite and another team that just wants to compete and really make a mockery of the other. Execution traveling to Creasers Arena to take on David Seaman, number one, and the Creasers. I'm the Red Raven alongside Thrill and Bucky, actually taking the color commentary role. We'll go to Bucky first. Your team is expected to compete with Execution for the championship here. What do you think is the biggest strength for Execution right now?
I think they have a great starting six, and that's huge for them. People like Rage need to step their game up, though. It's going to be important to them.
And Thrill, same deal to you. You're a member of the Baby Seal Killers, and Execution is just super solid. What do you think that Creasers is lacking for them to be able to be in that discussion of the best teams in the league?
Well, I think they have a great system that they could really utilize to overcome some of their deficiencies. Probably the one thing that keeps them out of the very top of the league is just individual star power. I don't think they have as many star caliber players individually as a team like Execution does.
One thing to notice right away is that violence is not in the arena. Right now we've got 10, Pavel Bure, David Seaman, Funk E, Vega, and Zanaz, and that is it for Creasers. You got to assume Yoinky will come right back in.
Yeah, I'm looking at the registered players for Creasers, and Yoinky is on the list of active players right now.
And there's Yoinky right there. And then for Execution, Doobie, Image, Jaywalking, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lorne, and Rage. If you're looking at just purely lineups right now, is Execution that much of a huge favorite? Because in my mind, they've got to be favored by at least 2.5, 3 goals.
Yeah, I definitely think so, especially with Violence not being here. When your team is run on a system and not just, the talent of your players, you really need that leader there. And without Violence there, I'm not sure how Creasers is going to be able to compete, but we'll see how they do. I mean, they might surprise us.
On my side, I see Execution taking a win tonight. I got them at 5-2 over Creasers. It's even with Violence, I don't see them being able to beat Execution.
One thing that Creasers does very well is guard the crease. Do you think that they have an opportunity to keep this game really low and just get a garbage goal and win this game?
With Violence, I absolutely think that could be the case. I mean, anything could happen here. I mean, Yoinky is coming off a 15-save shutout in their last game. So if he performs as well as he did against Direwolves, then, there could always be a low-scoring game. But like I was saying before, I think missing Violence is really going to hurt Creasers.
Absolutely. I think Vega has to step his game up also. Vega's been playing great. I think he's an underrated defenseman if he plays his defenseman role.
Lots of solid players on the ice right now for Execution. You know what? I don't see possibly how Creasers can compete, but we'll have to wait and see. Creasers has always been a great underdog team.
Yeah, they really pull out a lot of victories even when people expect them to not do very well. I mean, they've had a couple of up and down seasons. I mean, they've won championships. They've been at the bottom of the standings, table before. So it'll be interesting to see how this particular Creasers team meshes together.
Game is about to start. Execution at Creasers Arena here to take on the Creasers. Again, Doobie, Image, Jaywalking, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lorne, and Rage for Execution. 10, Pavel Bure, David Seaman, number one, Funk E, Vega, Yoinky, and Zanaz are in for Creasers. We're going to have a face-off in which Doobie, the Leviathan, will take on Funk E, the Terrier.
Surprised with Doobie's ship selection tonight already.
And, wow, Leviathan with a big face-off win. He'll pass it to Rage the Warbird, back to Jaywalking the Weasel. Rage and Jaywalking working together. Blue Goku in his standard javelin. Here's Zanaz with a chance with Funk E, the Terrier. Only Lorne is back on D and does a great job of stopping that puck.
I see that there's 3 Leviathans in the game right now, and I'm not surprised, especially to see Doobie in it offensively, because some people thought I was joking, but we've been using one on BSK with Weir, and I think Levy's actually legitimately like a really strong offensive ship.
Vega, the Leviathan, has the puck, gives it to David Seaman, who's looking for Funk E and finds him. Funky with a drop pass, and it's picked up by Lauren. They're going to take it back the other way. Doobie and Lauren, both Leviathans. Very interesting.
Yeah, interesting strategy, but we'll see if it pays off.
Rage takes the puck behind the net. Back to jaywalking to Image, trying to find some sort of an opening on Yankee. David Seaman back on D. Zanaz, Funky. All of them are just kind of swarming the center, trying not to give any sort of an advantage to the much more talented Execution. Rage has it. Moving it around back to the blue line. You notice Super Dan sneaking up to center ice. If this was Arnk Diley, he might actually call a penalty, but he's not getting involved in the play. Zanez crosses center ice to David Seaman. Zanez coming around and gets killed by jaywalking twice.
Yeah, I was playing pub with Image earlier, actually, and he was lagging quite a bit. And I know he lagged in the game against Baby Soul Killers as well, and was unable to play for a lot of it. So we'll see if that factors into this game.
Looks like we just had somebody lag out. But we're back to 6-on-6. Doobie with a huge kill. Back to Image. And tries to throw it to Rage, who will have to use afterburners to catch that puck at center ice. Again, down to 5. I don't know who the one lagging out for Creasers is.
I got jaywalking lagging out, and 0-7 jumped in.
It looks like Vega's gone from Creasers.
Vega is out, and Vega coming back in a spec ship. We've got some very interesting lag issues. David Seaman has the puck right in front of his goalies, and as Vega, a Leviathan, Doobie, the other Leviathan, gets a huge kill and got a bit of a breakaway here. We'll have to see if he can get a good shot off. No, Zanaz with a great defensive play.
One thing with the big Levy ship, you're going to get back checked pretty easily. It's a slow ship.
Here's a chance shot by David Seaman. He scores! We'll have to wait and see if it's clean.
I saw clean here.
I did as well. We'll have to wait and see. It looks pretty unanimous in the ref frequency. That'll be David Seaman, number 1, assisted by Zanaz, and 10, Pavel Bure. Creasers score on their first shot.
Yeah, and David Seaman coming up a little bit because their lineup just has Vega as the stay-at-home defenseman, which is where David plays a lot. So I guess he got an opportunity to come up and score a goal. So that's always nice as a defensive player.
Zanaz looking with, has Pavel Bure, but jaywalking with the defensive stop. Rage has it back over his blue line. Crosses center ice. He's moving quick. Jaywalking with him, but Pavel Bure with a clutch kill. Doobie gets it back, and Doobie with a big ball kill in front, but can't find an opportunity to get rid of the puck. And a big kill by David Seaman.
See, and that's one thing about the Levy. If you're not playing it defensively, it's more of a mid-offense role. It's really disruptive, no matter where you are on the ice. And that's one reason that I think it's so powerful.
Zanaz just over his own southern face-off circle. David Seaman back to Zanaz. Bure to now his southwest. Rage misses the kill, and Doobie with a big steal. Throws it back to Blue Goku to Rage. And now they're going to take it over the blue line. And no, they won't. Zanaz with the kill there. It's 2-on-1. Zanaz, Pavel Bure on Lauren. Rage fighting back to get back on D. And he'll get actually a big kill. Funky trying to pick up where his teammate left off, but just no dice.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme living in goal, his save percentage is now 75%.
David Seaman has it. 7:26 left in this first period. 1-0 on only one shot so far. Zanaz to Funky to Pavel Bure. Wide open that shoots and he scores!
Great shot.
Another unanimous goal. And Pavel Bure with the goal assisted by Funk E. and Zanaz. That's Zanaz's second assist and Pavel Bure's second point. Jean-Claude Van Damme 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, Pavel also scored 2 goals in Creaser's last game, so I'm not sure how much people were expecting from him at the beginning of the season. He's never been a huge impact player for Creasers, but it seems like he's going to be a big part of their offense this season.
David Seaman was talking smack before the game, saying that Rage was going to need to have an interview to cry tears of just absolute disappointment, and so far this is true. 2 shots, 2 goals, and the underdog with a 2-0 lead, 7 minutes left in this first period.
Well, I guess we're eating our words a little bit because we were just talking about we expected the match to go, and it really was not anything like this, at least up to this point.
Something you learn with the RSHL, anything can happen, and usually does. Zanez with the puck here, looking for a shot, just misses the net. Super Dan lets that one go, and maybe he had the line on that, but you have to wonder just how rattled, if at all, is Super Dan right now. Super Dan being Jean-Claude Van Damme. Zanaz has the puck up to Bure, looking for goal number 2. Both Doobie and Lorne on defense now. Zanez gets killed huge by Doobie, and he will fire it down, only to have the puck intercepted by Vega. Vega back to David Seaman.
Dan's save percentage down to 69%.
Pavel Bure to Seaman. Back to Bure to Zanez. Trying to find an opening on Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jaywalking, can't get the kill with his level 1 ship. Level 1 ships are Warbirds and Weasels, for the record, which means they are the weakest checkers. Zanez to Bure, wide open, he scores!
Oh, wow.
What is going on in Jean-Claude Van Damme land, man?
You know, I have to wonder too, and not just really at Super Dan, but the choice for the double Lev, maybe in addition to the Jav Weasel, those are all slow ships. And there's a lot of open ice. A lot of open ice that I'm seeing that Creasers is working with, so maybe the ship selection not working out quite so well.
Jean-Claude Van Damme doesn't believe his team has even recorded a check yet. 3 shots, 3 goals for Creasers. 5:40 left in this first period. All Creasers so far. Super Dan, no saves, no. It's incredible. Many people would say that Super Dan is the second best goalie behind Linux in this league, and so far tonight he has not shown it.
Well, I have to say, though, I don't really blame all those goals on really bad goalie positioning. I think that Creasers has had a lot of room to work with, and while you would expect some saves from Super Dan, I definitely don't think that, he's just not putting up a solid performance.
Puck bounced off the north wall. Rage with the puck. We'll wait to hear from Bucky to see what the save percentage is now. David Seaman with a steal.
Dan down to 64%.
Pavel Bure to Funky. It's one of those things that if your defense lets you down, it just looks really bad on the goaltender. David Seaman coming back around in the Creasers with maybe another opportunity. And jaywalking with a big steal. We've got a bit of a 3-on-1. Doobie jaywalking an Image. Only Vega is back, but Funky is fighting there. Jaywalking attempting to do what Pavel Bure did, but misses the net.
The other side of the puck, Yoki comes into the game with a solid 91.4% save percentage and 1.5 goals against average.
Pavel Bure has it to Funky. Bure and jaywalking with the steal. Yoinky is actually one of the few people that David Seaman considers an actual goaltender, along with Super Dan and Linux. Puck is dropped back, and Doobie almost breaking through, but gets killed by David Seaman, number 1. Rage looking for an open spot, can't find it, and now they'll come back the other way. Vega and Zanez with Bure and Funk E. It's a bit of a 4-on-2, but Image makes it even.
Coming into the night, I had 10 PB with the player to watch for Creasers, and so far he is lighting it up.
Pavel Bure taking it over the blue line with Zanez. Zanez to Bure. Super Dan thinking he's due for a save. Doobie to Image. Pavel Bure trying to get some sort of a kill there, or checking him. 3:25 left. This game has been a complete surprise so far. Image with a huge tank and throws it, just misses the net. But they were duds.
Yeah, double duds there. Kind of interesting. If that had gone in, it would have been kind of sad, it's always sad to see those goals that go in off of luck like that if you done 2 shots, but it missed, so.
And that is a big save by Yoinky, but it's a result of lag, so it wouldn't have mattered. David Seaman to Zanis. It's a bit of a debate on the ref frequency that goal would have been lagged, but you know what? They're duds. That's random damage. That is a clean goal. David Seaman to Zanis, Doobie. And Seaman almost had a chance there. Rage breaking out. It's going to be Rage versus Vega one-on-one. And if you're of a Rage fan, you know this is a generally good thing. Rage with a shot. Scores! Rage
Beautiful
making
goal.
Everyone look just absolute rookie-ish.
Yeah, and Yoinky went for a check there and missed it. And then, of course, after that, he doesn't have enough energy to thrust back up afterwards to make the save.
Plays of the week, you got to assume that's going to be pretty high up. Rage getting the puck just over center ice. Dekes out the Leviathan and dekes out a very good goaltender in Yoinky for sure. Doobie and Zanis will take the face-off. And Creaser's going to try and get this one right back. Bure to Zanis. Zanis looking down low for a shot, but he misses the net.
Yeah, that was a really weird shot to take.
Here comes Rage again. Vega going to try not to let him get by him twice. Image takes it up. Image with a shot. Big save by Yoinky. Drop pass.
You
Very
can't see,
interesting.
though. Image is spiking around a little bit, so we'll see how long he stays in the game for.
Zanis to Funky. Funky back to Zanis. 1:48 left. Here comes Doobie and Rage. Rage going to try to get by Vega, and Vega says, no, not today.
Rage has to keep doing his half cherry pick here and try to get behind the defense of Creasers and put some pressure on Yoinky.
He's doing a great job of it so far. Seaman finds Zanis. Zanis to Bure. Bure with a dud. 1:22 left in this first period. 3-1 Creasers. Delayed ball kill there, and Jaywalking will give the puck to Rage, who gives it to Doobie. They'll take it over the center line. Doobie has Image with him. Finds Jaywalking. Jaywalking gets killed by Vega, and Vega will now go the other way. This will be the slowest one-on-one situation ever. No, he waits for Pavel Bure. Zanis with Vega and Funky with him. To Zanis, and Jean-Claude Van Damme shuts the door there. They won't even take a shot. They will not turn the ball over. Zanis throws it off the wall and then turns it over right to Rage. Does the same thing. Rage has it again. 40 seconds left now. Jaywalking to Rage. 30 seconds until we have the Bucky and Thrill show. It's like I keep forgetting your names right before I go to say them, but 30 seconds left here. Seaman has the puck. They're going to try and get one last rush, I think. I think that's fair to say. Funky to Bure. We've got a one-on-one. Funky and Zanis trying to get up there. And Bure is just going to wait very patiently to Zanis. He scores!
Great shot again. Good patience.
Great shots all being shot here on Super Dan, or Jean-Claude Van Damme, I should say. 4 shots, 4 goals.
Yeah, and I gotta say, too, I mean, I feel like Super Dan's getting a tough rap here, because on that side, the pass came from the bottom, the defense should have been on the other side, and Lauren just wasn't there. Of course, a rookie this season, and I think that's really hurting Dan and making him look a little bit worse than it may seem.
That's the end of the first period. Highest, Zanis has a rating of 50.2 with a goal and 3 assists, plus 3, and then Pavel Bure, 2 goals, 2 assists. Having a little difficulty understanding the plus-minus in those ratings because clearly 4 goals were scored, but...
And look at this, Creasers having almost 2 more minutes of time than the execution, which is really a telling number, and that's not what anybody would expect at all. They're controlling a lot of the puck, and some of it's got to come down to the ship selection that I talked about earlier. They're just so slow. They need to, maybe make a couple of switches and have a little bit more speed in the lineup, because they're just leaving so much open ice that they're just not really keeping up with the puck.
For 1 minute there, I forgot that Rage had scored the goal because it had been just all Creasers, it seems. Jean-Claude Van Damme, minus 21.2. I don't know that I've seen a rating that low this season. Maybe there's been some that's close, but for a goalie, that's really unfortunate rating for Dan. Bucky, do you know what that puts his percentage at now for the season?
Down to 60%.
Yeah, and that's lower than I think it'll be. But of course, this is only like their second game of the season, so that'll shoot up.
When we look at these teams, so this is a question for both Bucky and Thrill. Can they come back from a 4-1 deficit where they literally have not made a defensive stop yet?
Well, go ahead.
Let's say if they tighten up the defense, they have an opportunity, but let's see what subs they make here. They do have 2 guys on the bench they can bring in.
I'm a little bit worried for them no matter what changes they make, to be honest, simply because Creasers is a system-based defensive team. On a team like that, your worry with that team is how are we going to get the goals? They have the goals already. So now that they have an advantage, how are you going to score 3 or more goals on this team that's known for being really defensive?
I think that's a great point, to be honest. Yeah, the Creasers are great at keeping pucks out of their own net, and so far with 4 goals and a 3-goal differential, you have to assume that execution is going to have to come out strong. They're going to need to focus something. They're going to need to get something going.
Yeah, they've got the Terrier in now with 0-7, so they've got a little bit more speed. They got the second levy out. So maybe this will help them some, but even if they start out playing Creasers, they're just so far behind now, it's going to take quite a while for them to come back.
Image looking for a shot on Yoinky, and he just misses it. Yoinky with a big stop. I think there was a possibility of a goal there. Zen is to Funky, and Creasers will try and get something else going. Or Rage will get a big kill. Throws it back to 0-7 wearing the Major League Baseball banner, which means he's got insider information if you're a Simpsons fan. Rage with a shot on Yoinky and another stop.
Yeah, Creasers keeping the same lineup in for this period.
Believe in what works, I guess, is what the motto of the Creasers is right now, except I think it would be spelt incorrectly if it was. Bure to Zanis, they have the puck at center ice. And so far, this game has been all Creasers, who are currently 1-1 on the season, and Execution has yet to get a win. They could be 0-2 after week 2, and I don't think anybody would have seen that coming, even if you look at their schedule.
No, I don't think so either, and one thing you have to think about the Creasers is I've never seen this top 4 before, because of course Violence...
0-7 has left the arena. I think he lagged out, and Player Plane is now in the game. We'll have to see if that was a leg out or what that was. Here comes Rage with a chance to try and get something else going for Execution, down by 3 goals. Rage to Image, to Doobie, back to Image, and Player Plane will now be the sit-at-home defender with the Spider Ship. Doobie, oh, he doesn't do anything. And Vega with a big steal there, taking it past his own blue line. 10 minutes left now. And there's a big turnover. David Seaman has the puck now. Pretty much everybody on this panel assumed that Execution would win and would potentially win big, but it's been all Creasers so far.
Yeah, and getting back to what I was saying before, haven't seen this top 4 before, because of course Violence is usually in. And you gotta wonder if this is just a line that works really well together, and if we'll see it more in the future.
Rage to Image. Back to Rage. Doobie to Jaywalking. They're going to try and get something else going here, and Jaywalking decides not to shoot.
Yeah, smart not to shoot. Smart not to shoot and retain possession, because it really wasn't going to score there, so now resets the puck and they can have another go at it.
Rage has the puck. And gets killed by Bure, and now they're going to take it back the other way. Bure has no one really with him, so he throws it back. But this could backfire. Rage will pick it up now. And he's a great dodger. He throws it to Player... I'm going to call him Player Plane because I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Doobie to Image. And Bure will throw it behind his own net.
Creasers' team has a huge showing tonight, but 2 players, Randall and Team Mighty Z, are ineligible to play due to suspension.
Remember to check us out, twitch.tv/subspacehz, not just for the live streams, but all the games are broadcast and recorded, so you can always go and watch your favorite teams later.
So Execution's putting some more pressure on now because they actually have more shots than Creasers now. It's 5 shots to 4. So the second period seems to be working a little better for them so far, at least.
Xanas has the puck and gets killed by Rage. You know that if Execution comes back, Rage will have to be a big part of it. One of the better players in the zone. Image to Rage, to Doobie. They're making some nice little moves here to get the puck a little bit closer to the net. Some nice screens there by Jaywalking.
Good cycle.
Yeah, this is what they want to do. They want to cycle the puck a lot. In their last game, Rage had almost 5 minutes of puck time just by himself, so they want to get the puck to him and let him work some magic and do some puck cycling.
Jaywalking trying to find an opening here, but Vega will not allow any of that. Past center ice, David Seaman gets killed by Jaywalking, and they're going to come back the other way. Rage has it over the center ice. Rage throws it back to Player. Rage will pick it back up. 7 minutes left now, second period. 4-1 Creasers.
You know, Creasers doesn't have a shot yet this period. And you gotta think that Super Dan might want them to take some more shots just so he can even up that save percentage a little bit more from that 0 out of 4.
The plan is... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Here we go. Xanas to Bure, and a big save by Super Dan. Now he knows what it feels like.
Goalie was checked.
Yeah, he did check the goalie in the crease as well. So I expect a warning for that.
There's the warning. Jaywalking has the puck. I don't know if that was an intentional goalie shot, but they still do have to warn. Oh, Jaywalking shoots. He scores off the ball kill.
Goal clean
And
here.
just like that, 4-2, Creasers lead.
Yeah, it's not always something you see from a Weasel, but it's really important to know what you can and can't do in certain situations. And Jaywalking thought that he could get the kill there, and he did, and he got the goal.
What I was going to say is what the plan is after the game. We'll try to grab a player from a winning team. The interview will not be part of the broadcast officially, but I believe we will record the video and use it for potential podcast purposes later, or even just for the live stream as a bonus for actually joining us tonight. If the Creasers win, we will have David Seaman on here to talk about how much better he is than Rage. But if Rage and Execution come back, you can be assured that, well, David Seaman might kill himself. Xanas has the puck, gives it to Vega. To Bure at center ice. And for those of us who have no idea about anything Hockey Zone, David Seaman is awesome and a bit of a crazy guy. Xanas has the puck. To Bure, they're looking for a shot here. Behind the net, to Bure. It's going to be thrown out front, and player plane will pick it up. Doobie and Rage crossing center ice. And Funky will throw it back to Yoinky. It phases and goes in the net.
Touching back on the goalie shot increase, if you're new to the game here, you've never seen in subspace hockey, during league play, if the goalie is in the crease, you cannot shoot him.
If you do, there will be a warning, but then you can also have penalty shots given. Penalties, it can be messy. And we recommend as well, if you'd like to learn the rules of the RSHL, if there's anything you don't understand, rshl.org, and go to the rules for Season 20. Image has the puck to Jaywalking, 4-2. Vega gets killed by Image, and they're going to keep the puck in the Creasers zone. Rage has the puck here.
Yeah, Creaser is really collapsing defensively right here, and this is what we were talking about earlier, is versus a team like this and this system, it's going to be hard to come from behind.
But it's something they must do. 8 shots on net now for Execution. Their goalie finally knows what it's like to make a save. Rage. No, nothing happens there. Funky with a nice defensive play.
Execution starting to get their game going, controlling the puck a lot this period.
Yeah, lots of work will need to be done here still by execution. 4-2. Jaywalking with a big steal. And Rage gets killed. They're going to take advantage here now, or the Creasers will try. Funk E avoids a kill by Doobie, throws it at the net. And Jean-Claude Van Dan makes the catch. Just over 4 minutes to go now as Rage goes one-on-one with Seaman. And no, teammates come to bail him out. We'll have to wait for that one-on-one match another time. Doobie to Image. They're working their way into the Creaser zone. Doobie might be legging out. No, I don't know what he's doing.
Just messing around a little bit, I think. Yeah.
A baiting play for sure. Here we go. Bure. Waiting for his teammates. Not going to try this heroic one-on-one stuff, even though he already has a couple goals tonight. Seaman to Funky. And, oh, that's a very unfortunate lag there. And Doobie will take the puck out. Jaywalking with a nice little pass, but it just misses Rage. Very close. And Vega with a big mistake. And then Image just gives the puck away. That could have been interesting for execution.
Both teams are starting to loosen up again here, so interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Creaser's trying to get their second shot of the period. They still only have that one shot this period.
David Seaman bounces it off the wall. It's stolen by Jaywalking. Easy kill by Funky. Rage just happened to be right over the ship. Zanis has the puck down south. It phases up to the northeastern part of Creaser's Arena. And Jaywalking will pick it up.
A lot of phase pucks this period, too.
Rage crossing the blue line, and he lets himself, he sacrifices himself for his teammate, and they get a good shot on net on Yoinky, but a nice shot. Pavel Bure saying he was poked in the eye, but that's not possible.
You gotta say, I'm not sure how much Creasers is missing Violence right now, but, Oh.
Zanis with a shot, he scores!
Yeah, that's looked clean to me. Just got the check, put it in the bottom post. And when chaotic stuff happens like that on the crease too, it's really tough on the goalie. Like when somebody gets checked, you're not sure where the puck's going to end up. You know, the person who checks always doesn't pick it up, so it's tough to know what's going to happen.
I can say from personal experience, that is the biggest pet peeve of mine, is when somebody gets killed near the crease because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Once again, you know, Dan kind of having a rough time, but not necessarily all his fault.
Rage and Doobie trying to get the team back into it right away. Rage to Image. Image with a shot on net. Yoinky would have saved that and gets credit for the save off the wall. Seaman. Pavel Bure to Zanis. Image lagged out. We were wondering when this would happen. He's in spec mode right now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I said, he was lagging pretty bad earlier, and you could see him spiking around a little bit earlier in this game.
Still having trouble entering the game, it looks like, so Creasers with a huge advantage. But it doesn't matter. Here comes Rage. Doobie trying to screen him, but Vega can't get taken out of the play that easily.
Yeah, Doobie dumped all his goals on him and still was able to get a shot off.
Yeah, and you can tell Doobie a little frustrated by Creaser's tactics here, as he actually stayed at the blue line and just kept checking Vega that whole time, even when the puck wasn't near him, just to try to clear out that zone.
Zanis and Pavel Bure trying to make something happen there, but they can't. But they'll get another chance here. It looks like Zanis to David Seaman to Pavel Bure, and they're going to reset. 1 minute left in the second period. 5-2 Creasers. Bure, Super Dan was out of position for a brief moment. Zanis and Bure putting a lot of pressure on, and there's a save by Super Dan.
Image is back.
Image is back on the ice now. Rage to Doobie. Zanis with a kill. 40 seconds. Execution would love to make it a 2-goal game right now. But so far it's been pretty much... Well, it's hard. You know what? You can't really say all Creasers because Execution has done really well the second period, but it's the goals that matter. Image with Jaywalking. Jaywalking shoots, scores! 5-3.
And that's a nice goal too, because some people don't shoot there because you're a little unsure. It wasn't a wide open net. You know, some people don't have the confidence to try to slip that past the goalie. and he took the shot, and it went in. Second goal for Jaywalking, so great job here this period for him.
Jaywalking, definitely one of the better weasels in this zone. 23 seconds left. They're going to try and get another one really quick. Xanis will just dump it down. You've got to wonder if maybe Creasers will start just killing some time. Jaywalking throws it to Super Den. We'll get it to Image. 10 seconds left. They need to keep the pressure on. Doobie. We got a little bit of lag from Vega. And great D from Bure there. That'll end this second period. Highest rated player for the second period. Jaywalking, 2 goals on 4 shots. And Zanaz on the other side with 1 goal. So now it is Creasers 5, Execution 3. Is Execution back in this game, or is it too soon to say, Bucky?
I think they're back in it. They're getting a lot of shots on that period alone. They were able to get about 7 shots on goal. So they're definitely getting pucks to the net.
Is it a little bit too late, Thrill?
You know, we'll have to see. I don't think they're completely out of it. And this is a thing I mentioned about Execution in my write-up as well, if anybody read that, is that they have a great starting lineup, a lot of great star players, but not a lot of depth. And with Blue Goku lagging out and their defender, Dragon Wing Zero, their starting defender, not here tonight, they've had some trouble defensively. I think that's really showing in this game. But their star players, Rage had a really nice play, Jaywalking, some great plays there, so they're definitely still in this if they can put together some good efforts like that.
1 minute left in this second intermission right now. Creasers shocking the world so far. 5 goals on 7 shots. And Execution with 3 goals. And whether you want to admit it or not, it looks like an off night for Super Dan. But again, a lot of these goals are not necessarily his fault. It's some defensive breakdowns. Execution could very well be 0-2 after 2 weeks in the RSHL Season 20.
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate start for them, but I really don't think that it would stay like this much longer. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but even if they go down 0-2, I still expect them to do very well for the rest of the season. I don't think by any means that people have just been overrating them.
Will this drop them down below interference, baby seal killers, and maybe even kick you apart in the rankings?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has to. They are still a great team, I think, but just going 0-2 and just the nature of a weekly power ranking, I mean, they haven't had the results so far. So regardless of the potential they have or the potential they've shown, you know, they definitely are going to have to drop in those rankings.
So, Bucky, just how low would you rate Execution if they lose this game?
It's tough. I mean, right now they're sitting in the 6th seed in the RSHL standings, but if they can't beat teams, it's tough to give them anything above an 8.
Xanis and Doobie will take the face-off. And Xanis will win it. Throws it right down into the bottom left corner of the arena, but Jean-Claude Van Damme just stops it, and Execution comes back the other way. For the record, I actually don't hate Krub. I think he's a good goalie, and I'm one of the few people that believes in him, so maybe he should shut up. Xanis has the puck stolen by Image.
I love me some Steve Cheese.
Yeah, Steve Cheese is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Better name than Krub, anyway. Jaywalking throws it to Doobie. Doobie puts it on Vega, and Vega will hold on to it so Seaman can pick it up. Seaman on the ball right now.
It's got to be Sicky.
Seaman was just taken out by Doobie. Here comes Xanis. Wow, couple duds. Xanis has it at the blue line to Funky. Xanis with one of the few, I should say, palindrome names in Hockey Zone. I don't know of any others offhand. We'll have to see if there are any more. David Seaman throws it on player playing to get some sort of a ball kill move, but cannot make it work. That's a trivia question for anyone out there. Help us figure out if there are any more palindromes in the zone.
I feel like there has been, but it's slipping my mind right now. Maybe I'm just imagining things.
Doobie and player playing behind their own blue line. Behind, rather, the Creaser blue line. They're going to take it into their zone. And Jaywalking just misses Doobie. They're huge.
How about XFX?
That's an old school name, isn't it? I haven't seen that name since I've come back.
Yes.
I don't know. Does it really count if it's letters? I'm not sure what the rules on palindromes are. But...
I think it would, because, you know, it doesn't really matter. We'll have to look that up. Doobie to Rage, and they're going to keep the pressure on right now. Execution needs to get a goal. Image with a shot on net. That's right at the goalie. Yoinky makes the save. Apparently, Iggy is XFX, if that's true.
I don't think that's true, actually. Maybe it is. I thought I remembered it being somebody else, but maybe we can get some confirmation.
Zanez to David Seaman.
Yeah,
he says it's not true.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Jaywalking. Throws the puck up to Image, who gives it to Rage. Some really good offensive talent on this execution team. Jaywalking. Rage. Player who entered the game has not actually exited. Zan is with the steal. It's 1-on-3. He might just wait for Funky or just clear it. No, he waits for Funky.
You know, it speaks to execution's depth that Player Plane's in here, because it's kind of always been a joke with Blue Goku that Player Plane is the mascot on the team. So being forced to have some minutes here may be less than ideal for them.
Doobie to Jaywalking. Tries to throw it down. He throws it right between Image and I believe it was Rage. Unless it was Rage who threw it, then it was Jaywalking. One of those three. Funky receives the pass from Yoinky. And David Seaman dumps it off the wall to Funky. And we might have a little bit of a creaser's rush here. For the record, if he's willing to, we will be interviewing David Seaman, but it will not be part of the game stream. It will be just part of the live stream for the crowd, and I don't believe it will be recorded. Make sure that's why you check out the games when you do watch them live, so that you get the extra bonus of interviews about all sorts of silly things. Rage has the puck in the northeast part of the arena. Zanez catches the puck. And gets killed by Rage, and now we have a 4-on-1. Doobie Jaywalking Rage. And Image is kind of falling back, but still 3-on-1. Vega with a huge defensive play, but Jaywalking catches the puck, and then David Seaman with a kill. Doobie throws it on net, but it goes behind. Yoinky still gets credit for the save.
No shots on goal yet for Creatures this period.
Yeah, now Execution actually has twice the shots. So this is going back to what I said before. They've started to pull ahead and controlling the game, and are starting to play a little bit better. But they were so far behind from that bad first period that it might be just a little too late.
Puck comes off the north wall. Zanez goes over the blue line. Pavel Bure with a big shot on Dan, but a big save. That's got to be good for him. That's got to make him feel a lot better.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Zanez, too. Really threaded it in there.
Rage throws it back to the blue line. Image catches it. Under 7 now. We're coming through the halfway point of the third period very quickly, and Execution still down 2 goals. Jaywalking to Image. Big cross. Doobie gets killed by Yoinky. Now that is a clutch kill.
Yeah, and you can see, though, actually Blue Goku tanked on the play. Image tanked on the play a little bit further back, so it couldn't have mattered anyway.
Good catch on your part, Thrill. Jean-Claude Van Damme to Jaywalking. I think we've just proven the point. We need to have a color commentator on the ref frequency every time. Funky catches the puck, throws it down to Zanez. 6:08 left. Zanez with a nice little move. Throws it down to Bure. Bure to David Seaman in a clutch kill by Image.
On the spec chat, School is not happy with Zanez's performance.
Zanez with a goal tonight already.
Saying way too many turnovers.
Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, it hasn't been extremely noticeable. The Execution team's been playing pretty well on the back check the last 2 periods.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Zanez does have a goal tonight for Creasers already. Wait, Doobie to Image. We might have a... No, Vega with a nice kill. And they're going to try and put more pressure on Execution. Zen is with a nice little dodge, but Image gets that kill. If you're wondering about the NHL, if you haven't been able to watch it because you're too excited about the RSHL, hang on 1 second. Never mind. Funky with a big shot. Second overtime in Game 1 between Chicago and Boston, 3-3. But who cares about the NHL when you can watch the RSHL? 5 minutes left. 14 shots for execution, 9 for creasers. Zanez the Funky. Big chance here. Zanez gets killed by player, and Dan picks up the puck. They'll give it to his team, take it over the blue line. That was pretty huge of execution. And now Bure with a chance. Throws it to Funky down south. And that's thrown up onto the crease, but Dan makes the save. 4:35 left. Execution needs a goal. They need it fast. They want any hope of making this game go to overtime or just flat out win in regulation.
Expect a timeout coming up from execution on the next stoppage.
Vega with an awful little ball pass, or drop pass rather. And Zanis catches it at center ice. Gets killed. Here comes Doobie. Doobie to Rage to jaywalking. Image is in there as well. Oh, he throws it back to Plerp, who will pick it up and just give it back to jaywalking. 4 minutes left. Doobie trying to make something happen. Image with a shot. He scores!
Yep, it just picked up the puck off of the check, and that's pretty much a wide open net from that. Not really Yoinky's fault, but a great fortune for execution there.
Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme's going to call timeout on behalf of execution. Now 5-4, Creasers lead. If Creasers were to let in another goal, you could make the argument that this could be the momentum change of the game.
Creasers is really probably going to stack the crease pretty hard in these next couple minutes, I would expect. They've started to lose control of the game, and they know that they're only one goal ahead now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them even start doing some cheesy stuff like holding it behind the net and stuff. I wouldn't put that past Creasers.
No, and I don't have an issue with that either. Bucky, do you think there's a sportsmanship conflict there, or do you think you need to do everything you can to win within the rules?
Do what you can to win within the rules. And remember this, there's several people on the Creasers bench that can still come in as different ships and just help stack the crease.
You know, getting back to this whole Zanez thing, he has 38 turnovers and 29 steals. So that is a lot of turnovers, but it's also a lot of steals, and that steal-turnover ratio is definitely within an acceptable margin for an offensive player for me.
Timeout is over. It is now time in. 3:55 left. Creasers only up by 1. As far as we can tell, no substitutions for Creasers at all. They're going to keep their current lineup, as will Execution. They're just making their plan. I'll tell you what, if Execution scores here, oh man, you can't feel good for the Creasers there. Image coming up, and no, behind the net, Zanez will pick it up.
They need to be more patient. Blue Goku Image trying to force a play there, and they really need to make sure that they're picking their chances.
David Seaman not looking to kill any time at all. They're going to keep attacking and try to prove that they do have an offensive game, but Rage with a nice kill. And Jaywalking will double kill Funky to keep him out of the play for a few seconds anyway. 3:20 left as Execution comes back over center ice. Jaywalking gives it to Rage. Rage has Doobie and Jaywalking and Image with him. Jaywalking, and oh, what a steal from David Seaman. That's clutch.
Yeah, you can see by the crease there, they know what they need to do to make sure that they don't give up the tie. All 5 players collapsed on the crease quite early.
Now David Seaman and Zanez now with the big time-wasting plays. And now they're going to take it up over center ice. Here comes Funky to Zanez. They might get a chance here. No, they don't. It's thrown to the southwestern part of the arena. Rage, Image, Doobie is going up pretty quick for a Leviathan, not providing any support down there. And it goes to Image. 2:23 left. This will be the big chance here. Doobie trying to just power through, and that's not going to work. Rage with a big steal. And that's a huge ball kill or a big kill rather, by Pavel Bure. Throws it down to center ice, picked up by Funky. He'll give it to David Seaman, who duds a shot by Rage. Super Dan picks it up. 1:53 left. Execution needs to score. Jaywalking tries a slap shot pass to Rage, but that was straight up the middle where there's a lot of defenders.
Another forced chance, what I was saying before, that they're trying to force some opportunities. They need to slow down. They have the players to make the plays. They need to slow down a little bit and let the opportunities open up.
One thing that was missed here is that Doobie actually did shoot Yoinky in the crease.
On the last rush?
Yeah, I saw that message, but I didn't see that happen in play, so I'm not sure what transpired there.
I didn't see it either.
I saw a shot, but I thought Yoinky was shooting Doobie, not the other way around.
1:10 left in this game. Pavel Bure to Funky. And here's Rage. Rage has it over center ice. 1 minute to go. Rage needs to make something happen. Doobie with him. Doobie to Image. Here's a big kill from Image. Doobie! He's going to wide open and he scores! And just like that, we have a tie game.
Yeah, and Execution really punishing creasers with checks around their own crease. That's where they've gotten these last couple of goals. And you got to credit some of that with the Jav and the Levy up there being the power forwards.
Doobie asks, how terrible do they feel? Unbelievable turn of events. 51 seconds left. 5-5. Could you imagine this game going to overtime when Creasers was dominating early? Maybe not, but they're not giving up yet. There's still some time. Execution wants to finish this before overtime and just completely demolish the ego of Creasers. Funky picks up the puck. They were killing time like crazy earlier, and you know what? It didn't work out.
Yeah, I think Execution needs to play some good defense for this last 30 seconds because I think overtime will favor them with more open ice.
Doobie and Image. You got to assume that maybe player plane would be the one out for Execution, and regardless of who comes out for Creasers, that's a huge advantage for Execution. 10 seconds to go. Doobie gets killed by Funky, and there's not going to be enough time for really anything to transpire. 5-5 in this third period. I'm going to ask you guys, is it more of an Execution comeback or a Creasers meltdown?
You know, I think that part of it has to do with just fortune, where the game has turned. There's been a couple of, checks and deaths around the crease that could have gone to multiple players, and Execution players came away with the puck. So I don't think it's really more of a meltdown. I think it was more of Execution was getting more shots and controlling more of the puck than they did in the first period, and it just so happened that those opportunities came, and they got the goals to tie the game up.
Do you agree, Bucky?
Well, I think one of the big subs so far was removing Lorne out of the game and bringing in at first was 0-7, but ended up being player P when 0-7 lagged out. So I think that really turned it on defensively for Execution, and they started playing their game offensively, where they're cycling and trying to get the Creasers to make stupid moves.
Creasers are doing exactly what we anticipated. Player P is back out of the game. Funky, Vega, Yoinky, Zenaz, and 10 Pavel Bure will be the 5 on the ice there. And Doobie, Image, Jaywalking, Jean-Claude Van Den, and Rage are on the ice for Execution.
I got to be honest, I think Vega's going to come out for David Seaman. I'm assuming that the module actually just spectates the player at random when overtime period starts. So I'm not sure if these are the final lines here. We'll have to see. But if I was Creasers, I would have David Seaman in as the defender over Vega. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, good catch. I got confused when player P went out. In the back of my head, I was thinking he was Creasers, but you're right. He is definitely on Execution. And yeah, David Seaman almost has to be in the game, you would assume.
Yeah, I mean, Vega's never known for being, a high-impact player necessarily. While not really, yeah, there's the sub right here. Yeah, David Seaman in. And that just makes more sense, especially since he's in the Spider. That's going to help them control the puck a little bit more in the mid compared to the Levy. And just caliber of player-wise, David Seaman is definitely stronger than Vega, I personally think. But
yeah, definitely not a nod on Vega. I think that's fair to say. Execution will have 2 level 1s, a Levy, and a Javelin, while Creasers is going to run a Javelin, a Terrier, a Spider, and a Weasel. Yeah,
and I guess maybe Execution, these are all 4 forward players for the most part. It looks like Jaywalking might either play some weasel mid, or they might just be playing like rotating last man back, puck cycling, kind of, switching those roles out there. So we'll have to see what happens, but that definitely could come into play here. They really need to control the puck for the majority of the period since they don't really have a defensive player in.
As we wait for this timeout to end, remember to watch all games on the Twitch TV website, twitch.tv/subspacehz. All Season 20 games have actually been uploaded thanks to Navi. We'll be joined after the game. We will be joined by hopefully David Seaman from the Creasers and Jean-Claude Van Dan from the Execution team. This will not be recorded, so make sure that you are watching live, because again, this will be the only time you'll be able to hear it. The benefit of watching the games live. If you want to schedule, go to rshl.org. And time in has been called, so the puck will be dropped to start the overtime. 5-5 Execution at Creasers.
I really favor Execution for this overtime period. 5-on-5 means more open ice, which generally favors the team with more offensive creativity and offensive vision.
Funky has the puck, and Rage and Jaywalking trying to get a double kill here. Or work together for a single kill, I guess. And as to Pavel Bure, Creasers trying to make something happen. They've got Doobie in the Leviathan on the on their defensive side, so you have to think that maybe they're going to try some sort of a snipe. Try to find some sort of open space. Image with a big kill. Funky does not get killed by Rage. Takes 2 shots from him. And Doobie just ends it right there.
The one thing to keep in mind, and this is before, but even more so now in overtime, very slow lineup. So they need to make sure they control the puck. Because Execution's ship selection, very slow. So they could be punished by that if they're not careful.
Rage picks up the puck, gives it to Image. Back to Jaywalking. The only Warbird on the ice right now is Rage. To Jaywalking, to Image. Image had a chance. Jaywalking picks it up, throws it back to Rage. Again, we had to assume that this would benefit Execution, the 4-on-4. Having the Leviathan for the extra bit of power, but also having the fastest ship on the ice in the Warbird. Jaywalking looking for an opportunity, but Creasers playing some pretty good defense. Creasers more rounded. Only Pavel Bure is their real super offensive ship. Rage finds Jaywalking, back to Rage. They're working their way in now. Here's Rage with a shot. Big save by Yoinky. That's clutch. And Zenez will have the puck now for Creasers. 10 minutes left. We've already seen one tie this year. I believe it was Kick You Apart and Baby Seal Killers. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Funky has the puck, drops it, and Jaywalking picks it up. Throws it to Rage, and they're going to go back the other way. Execution will try to end it now. Image to Rage. Over the blue line. Jaywalking can't do anything against Funky.
Now, already a couple of overtime games this season, and honestly, it really doesn't seem to happen all that much. So, be interesting to see how many overtime games actually come into play season 20 of the RSHL.
Has it only been the 3 games so far?
I believe so. Maybe I can go to the website and check it out here real quick.
Here's Doobie with an opportunity with Image. Games we know of for sure, obviously, Baby Seal Killers and... it's cleared out by David Seaman. Baby Seal Killers and Kick You Apart the other night. Of course, this game, Execution and Creasers, as well as Empire and Interference in a very surprising overtime game. Funky with Pavel Bure. 2 dots from Rage. And we do have a lag out. Only 4 players on the ice for Execution right now. That means Image is out.
Surprised nobody's jumping in.
Nobody is jumping, and this could be very bad for Execution. And here comes Plerp. Image has left the arena. This could be a lag reset, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't let him back in the game. Rage gets killed huge by Zenez, and Plerp will have to play some sort of mid-D. We'll see if that hurts execution. Zennis to Funky, and Rage with a huge defensive warbird play.
Yeah, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world for execution. Player plane will stay back defensively, and the team will be helping out since it is overtime. So the fact that they lost Blue Goku and still have 3 huge players there is still going to benefit execution for overtime, I believe.
Quick goalie stats update. Right now we have Yoinky at 83% save percentage now in the league, and Van Dam with a 66%.
Pavel Bure with a big slap shot from way out.
Yeah, that's just wasting the puck possession there at this point. That's silly.
Trying to catch him off guard. Doobie has the puck. Do you guys think it's a big deal to have a Leviathan and a defensive Spider in the game on 4-on-4? Is Jaywalking and Rage good enough? Are they good enough?
Absolutely. They're 2 of the better players in the league, in my opinion, especially when put with good teammates, and they definitely have some good teammates in each other.
Yeah, Doobie needs to go in there and clear the house so those 2 guys can do some work.
Rage showing how to check. And Funky avoids a ball kill from Doobie. Nicely done. And 7 minutes left in this 4th period, or the first overtime.
Doobie very experienced too. Of course, he's played the game pretty much since its conception and has also been known to score quite a few overtime goals.
That's a nice shot by Zanis, but it's saved by Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was close. Jaywalking and Rage coming over center ice. Only Funky and David Seaman back. And Rage tried to give it to Doobie, but player plane will have to pick it up. 6:50 left now. 18 shots on goal for execution. Rage kind of disappeared in the center ice image, actually. For me, anyway. Rage finds Jaywalking. Jaywalking holds on to it, gets a ball kill, and decides to hang on to it. I don't know about that. Doobie will follow up with a big kill.
Oh, that's fine. He really didn't have much of an opportunity there because Creasers had the crease locked down there. I think a shot would have been wasted, so I think that was a fine decision.
Here's Rage, almost 1-on-1. It's going to phase through everybody and scores, but obviously lag. Unanimous in the ref frequency. And we will reset and start again.
Yeah, we'll have to see if any opportunities can get created right now, but it's looking like it might be another tie right here. Lots of defense from Creasers.
Image back in the game for player P.
Warning will be given to Image. If he lags again, he will be out of the game.
And there he goes.
He lags out again, so he's done for now, at least.
The player instantly jumps in.
A good thing that Tiajan didn't drop the puck, because sometimes the ref doesn't notice in time and just drops the puck, which would have put execution at a huge disadvantage, so good job by him there.
Image saying he spec'd.
Oh, that's interesting. 6:13 left. Image coming out of the game for player because he doesn't want to lag out and cost his team the victory. And they do have a lot of well, they believe in player. There's a reason why he's in there. They joke that he's the mascot, but they're giving him some big minutes today.
Yeah, I gotta think that Image probably hopped in the game and maybe it was choppy for him or something. He just wasn't comfortable with the way the ships were looking, is what I'm assuming. So he probably decided he'd rather not detriment his team by not putting out as good of a performance as he could without the lag.
Jaywalking trying to find Doobie, but it lags through everybody. Yoinky will pick it up. 5:35 left in this overtime. Doobie to Jaywalking. Pavel Bure can't get the kill there. Rage will pick it up. Still trying to make something happen for execution. They have to be thrilled that they forced overtime, but even then you can't just have such a huge comeback and lose in overtime because that would just absolutely destroy the morale of the team, I would figure. Funky, Pavel Bure, and Zanis. This could be huge for Creasers.
On the reverse side, you also don't want to be winning against such a high-profile team and then give up the lead and the overtime loss too, so it could be rough for whichever team loses this.
Yep, and if you're Creasers, you can't be thrilled about a tie either because, again, you were up 4-1 at one point. That was a big chance there, but Jean-Claude Van Damme with a big save. And Rage will try to make something happen here. Oh, big kill by Bure. And him and Xanis are going to come back the other way. Jaywalking on D with Player and Funky coming into the play. David Seaman staying back. A little bit of a defensive mind there. He'll throw it on net. Easy save by Dan.
Yeah, Creasers really, Tim Pavel Bure had that half-court shot earlier, and then there's that shot. I feel like Creasers is really just throwing the puck at the goalie without any chance of scoring. It's a questionable decision. You really want to retain puck possession.
David Seaman crosses the blue line. 4 minutes now left in this overtime. There are no shootouts in regular season. It will end in a tie, 1 point for each, which would give Creasers a win, a loss, and a tie.
No point for a loser.
Yeah, exactly. Player has the puck. We'll call the win, loss, and tie the David Seaman hat-trick from here on out. Doobie trying to find Rage. Just misses him. Jaywalking will chase the puck. Seaman's after him.
Looks like Ray tried to get a fake in there to get around the defenseman.
Player for the big play. Here's Jaywalking. Oh, Yoinky covers up perfectly. 3:21 left in overtime.
See, and that's what Creasers need to be doing. You don't have that shot. Jaywalking just pulled it back there, and look, now they have puck control. They can have another opportunity, as opposed to Creasers right now throwing the puck away at the goalie and just losing.
Zen is playing defense here. Some people believe that there may have been a DC opportunity for execution there, but I don't know about that. Rage, they want the guaranteed goal. They don't want to risk throwing the puck just at the goalie for free. Here's Jaywalking, looking for Doobie. Big kill by Pavel Bure. And now 3 Creasers are just passing around Rage. Not much you can do there. This could be huge. Big crease. Oh, what a stop by Super Dan. Save of the game so far.
That's a great save. That'll be on top 10 plays of the week. I'm going to call that right now. And
I think that's definitely one of the best saves we've seen so far. And a game saver. Jaywalking with a big, and there's a big defensive stop by Seaman on the other side. Pavel Bure to Funky. They're going to try again. Over 2 minutes to go now. There was a time when Jean-Claude Van Damme had 4 goals on 4 shots against him, and now he has made a ton of saves since then, and none were as good as that one. Holy wow. 2 minutes left now in overtime.
Yeah, and that's really the mark of the great goalies, too, is are you going to make that save when it matters? Are you going to make the clutch save in overtime? And here he comes now. And he's played really well this game. I mean, most of those goals from Creasers, I think, were not really his fault. You know, some defensive faults there. And he's playing really, really well, I think.
Pavel Bure will take the puck out of his own blue line. Doobie had been lining people up and forcing turnovers. Funky and Xanis, minute and a half. Rage trying to get some sort of a kill, but he can't do it. That's one disadvantage of the Warbird. 2 level 1s on the ice for execution. They really only have Doobie and Player playing as checkers. Pavel Bure with a chance, but does not make a bad shot at the net. He'll just pass it back to his teammate, and they will reset. Jaywalking. And Rage trying to get in passing lanes. They know they can't get the kill. Doobie's just firing away. He's putting tons of pressure. David Seaman, Player playing, makes a big defensive check. 1 minute to go now in overtime. Rage coming back up north. Dodges Funky, gives it to Doobie. And Doobie's going to find... No, he can't. He can't get it to Jaywalking.
He had Rage.
No, he wanted to give it to Rage, and he didn't because the defender was going to prox it. I saw that there, and I think that's why he decided not to pass it. I think that was a smart decision.
35 seconds left. Only 1 or 2 more rushes left. And one will belong to Creasers here. Oh, that's a bad little pass. Rage almost had a breakaway, but he couldn't get the puck. Rage with a little bit of cherry picking here, but no, he's going to come right back onto defense. He's not going to give the other team a chance. Funky to Pavel Bure. And, oh, huge ball kill. Funky can't get the shot in the net. Super Dan getting there at the last minute. And you know what? 5 seconds left. Doobie's going to hang on to it. They are just going to take the tie. Absolutely huge comeback from execution. And I'll tell you what, great goaltending from Super Dan to end that game. 5-5 execution at Creasers, 1 point for each. And that was a lot more exciting than you would expect from a tie.
From Funk there, I think that Super Dan might have had that save, and I was talking before about taking the shots and whatnot, but when there's 3 or 4 seconds left, you gotta think that he at least would have wanted to try and at least even shoot at the goalie if you want to, but with only 5 seconds left, I'm surprised he didn't at least try to take that shot.
Well, we'll take this opportunity now to do our final comments of this game. You know what? This was a great game to watch. It seemed like it was going to be entirely creasers. Bucky, I'll let you get this out of the way. What was the biggest surprise for you in this game?
The Super Dan in the first period, Jean-Claude Van Damme letting the 4-4 in. That was real surprise to me, but he rebounded great.
Yeah, and going back to that, I really don't think that all those goals were just terrible faults on his part, too. I think it was really part of the team effort, and like you said, Lorne, the rookie being in there, so I think it was not as bad as it seemed.
Well, that's the game. Creasers at home to one of the best in the league, Execution, and Execution can only get 1 point. As a result, it is a tie. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned to the stream. This is the end of the game, but we're going to be joined by Captain of Execution, Jean-Claude Van Damme, as well as David Seaman from the Creasers. So on behalf of Bucky, Thrill, and the producer, Navi, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the interviews after this game. Goodbye for now.